justice for all.
Sure, I found All right, first on the agenda, 8:45, Paul Stevenson, CIO, vouchers and an IT update. How's it going, Paul?
Good.
Good.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Couple things, as we're moving forward with the new voucher system. I don't know how many of you have seen it since we've changed it. I know Rachel has. We run into one little issue, or an issue that's kind of a policy thing. Several of the department heads have come to me and said that, they don't sign their vouchers. They have a designee in their office appointed to do that. Now, I don't know if that's legislative audit says the department head has to sign it.
No, they can designate.
Or if they designate it, that's okay with you guys, and do we need them to fill something out, or how do you want to handle that?
Well, they can't if they're still responsible.
Right, I think they all understand that they're responsible for their employees regardless. It's just some of them don't actually sign the vouchers, they never have, others do. It's about a 50-50 split in the county.
Well, and you can't be there all the time, so it's good
Correct.
to have someone else in there.
Yeah.
Is it just one designee, or is there more than one each office?
Most of them are just one designee. Well, that's what they're asking for anyway. So, you know, but that's if it's not a legislative issue,
Yeah.
audit issue, then it's a policy thing that you guys will need to decide how you want to handle that.
Is anything stated in our policy manual now? Okay, so we just need to add a little
For
verbiage.
timekeeping it is, but not for pay, not for voucher signing.
So we have several departments that have actual office managers that do the vouchers, and that's part of their duty, and
Do we need a list of that somewhere provided to whoever?
we can, I mean, if you want to
Yeah,
list the designees,
So we
just in
know
case
who?
Gotta
changes.
know who's
Yeah.
authorized and who not, maybe just a one-sheet paper
Yeah.
that says I authorize so-and-so to sign on my behalf. And it's not like they're signing the other person's name.
Right,
They're
correct.
signing their own name,
Yeah, and
logged
what-
in under themselves.
What changes after we talked with legislative audit, they were concerned that I could fill out a voucher and sign Doug's name, you know, that type of thing, so we've locked the program down. Whoever's logged in is the only one name that can go on there. So then that separated the department head out if they weren't making out the vouchers. So that's kind of where this came up from.
Okay.
So, it's just a matter of how you want to handle it. We can get a list and keep the list in square nine, and, because they only have the option of the department head or the designee in the list to send it to after they've made out forms, so.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Sounds good. Could you be in charge of, maybe Gary and you will come
Sure.
up with a one-page, and the people
Yeah.
that want to have a designee have to
Yeah.
have that filled out and file it at HR, so we know who's authorized to sign for
Okay.
who.
Yep, not a problem,
Okay.
so. Let's see, now we're moving forward with square nine. I think we have highway to put on, and then we'll start moving out to scanning other documents in. So that'll be the next phase of that, and that'll pretty much keep us rolling pretty hard on that system. I have one other thing on, the video system that in the jail and throughout the courthouse. We've budgeted for new recording servers for the courthouse, and we have the money in the budget. It's about 18.5. We budgeted 25. The cost came in at 18.5 for the servers we need to grow that system to where it needs to be. I'm just looking for spending authority on that.
That's for doing... for
It
the-
records all the cameras,
Oh, gotcha.
and and our access control. Growing that, we need bigger servers. We kind of, when we started it, we made do with what we had. Now we budgeted last year between the sheriff and myself for this expansion, with the jail expansion. Now we're at that point we need to buy them and put them in.
So basically for storage.
It's storage, and
Storage.
actually, it actually drives the cameras.
It's the whole operating
It
system.
holds everything, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Any questions on that?
I don't,
Do we need a motion for that spending authority, or is it since it's already budgeted for?
it's over your limit.
Okay, and do you have multiple vendors?
I can
that-
send them up to you, yes.
Okay, so we'll get the best deal on that.
Okay.
I'd entertain a motion to go ahead and authorize that spending authority.
I'll move it.
Moved by Hanson,
Second.
second from Feldheim. Any questions on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carries.
roughly at $100,000 to do wireless at the fairgrounds. And that's a mesh that covers every campground, every, inside the Odie, inside the Expo, inside the, clubhouse, inside the grandstands, everything, one big mesh,
All the campgrounds.
everything. Plus, we can then backhaul video back if we wanna add cameras out in those remote areas. Looking at the fees what we proposed, just the fair would return $21,000 for that week of the fair, between campers and vendors. So it gives it a pretty decent ROI, but it's still, and it's hard to account for how many Kurt's gonna grow in there. You know, he's got some big camping festival, I think, next year with 300 campers. So it's gonna, within 3 years, it's gonna be a revenue source.
Is there a rate you're charging those campers in to have Wi-Fi, or?
They were talking during the week of the fair, and I don't know what they're charging the vendors now. 'Cause right now, we already provided just for the vendors.
Rolled into their contract.
Rolled into their contract, and I think that's what they're gonna do with the campers too, is just gonna roll into the fee. The only thing, you know, we'll put it up, we'll support it, I'll pay the monthly internet fee, because that'll just go into addition to what I already pay. So, I don't know, it's gonna be a revenue source, and that's the hard part, because we also need to look at, okay, the Speedway contract, we're gonna have internet there.
The horse
Do we add it
races.
in there, the horse races, Centennial Village, all these, camper shows, home builder shows, do we add it into those contracts? You know, and that revenue would be mainly in Kurt's side.
Could
So-
that revenue go in a separate account?
Yeah, that's
what I'm thinking.
Or is this part of the capital improvements out there? Is it
But
a
it's
capital improvement account?
So many different units, I'd rather see it
Yeah.
just so we can keep it straight if it's
Yeah, that's
paid
the,
for itself.
that's the hard part. Who should budget it, or should it be a separate
I think
budget
a
item?
separate account.
And where does the revenue go to pay for it?
Be
That was
cleaner
my
that way.
question.
Can we separate that fee then out when they say a camper or whatever, a booth at the expo building? Can we separate out that additional fee and put it into that revenue account? So that'd be a lot of extra work for you, wouldn't it?
No, they just have to code it.
You know,
Okay.
they would, I imagine that'd all be set up by, you guys would set the rates and, you know, and then,
The week of the fair would be the only other option that would not be considered under fairgrounds.
right. That's about it, yes.
So everything would be under fairgrounds except for a week of it, but
But that week,
That's the big-
probably
that's the biggest work,
80%.
yeah.
Keep
Right.
in mind that
At
your
least the-
revenue is one big pot. It isn't, I mean, we classify it if you look at your revenue
Yeah.
sheet, but there can just be one line item
It'd
for
be-
that.
It'd be kinda nice though to know what revenue we're getting from the expense we're having, because you're gonna have maintenance and you're gonna have
Right.
downtime and you have
Yeah.
people there, so we know if we're charging enough.
Because
Is
my,
$10 too much, is it too little? We'll know
my
that
internet
after a year or
cost,
two.
everything I add is about $200 a month from NBC.
But
You
it,
know, so,
there's,
I've got that,
200 a month for the additional?
yep,
but will that stay constant?
yeah, and they've been really good.
I
And
just like tracking.
That's from NBC?
NBC, and NBC's been really good about the week of the fair, they just open the pipe up, no limitation, and let us go. And they've never charged us for that.
So is that $100,000 estimate from NBC?
No,
Or is that from?
we have it, I have it from two, WISP and RTI, we're working with both of them. We're gonna try some demo equipment this year out there just to see what works best between the two, because they're within pennies of each other on the total.
And then the estimate of the 21,000 in revenue per year week of fair, that's based on what?
$10 campsite and $10 a vendor booth.
And are we already charging them $10?
The vendors we are, yes.
And, okay.
And all take it, all use it?
I-
All pay it?
Yep.
Regardless, they don't have a choice.
they won't have an option then as well.
They won't have an option.
And same thing with the camper.
And the other side of it is, with the gateway we're putting in, we'll be able to sell splash pages, so the week of fair, you can buy splash pages, so if you're gonna get on the internet, it's gonna show your so-and-so's advertisement this time, where at, we've separated by campgrounds, by buildings, however, so that's additional revenue, but I would assume that would fall under Derek at the fair
Yeah,
to
that'd be fair.
sell that stuff, but I mean, The ROI is not bad, it's just a matter of how we're gonna govern it and what works right for the auditors.
And is that 100,000 something you have to do boom all one year, or is it something gradual?
It's, you know, by the time you roll out the equipment and start wiring poles and put things up, get the equipment out there, it's just about as cheap to do it all at once as it is to try to do over 2 or 3 years, but it can be done either way. You know, it's gonna be probably a little more expensive if we do a section at a time, you know, long-term, but it's what we can afford too,
Sure.
you know.
Well, if you get the revenue stream in there, I can see where that'd pay back, but that's where I
Yep.
like the accounting part of
Yeah.
it.
So it's not in anybody's budget for next year. Didn't know how to handle it exactly because it covers so many different areas.
Mhm.
So I thought I'd leave it to you guys to think about it and make some decisions on that if and when we move forward with it.
Anyone have questions or thoughts on that?
Has there been a lot of requests for it out there?
Yeah, the week of the fair especially.
Oh, yeah.
And when I talked to Derek, he thought there won't be any free if you want to walk around. There'll be you can buy a day or a fair pass. Because everyone will have their own password, so say Rachel's out there camping and she gives Doug the password, that's all well and good as long as she gets on before Doug, because only one of them is going to work. So,
There's just people coming to the fair with their phones who won't be able to use it.
they can buy a day pass, or you know, it won't be free. But you know, the people that spend a week at the fair, if the day pass, Derek was talking cheap, but I don't think it's going to be way cheaper than them going over their data plans, you know. So, and I know you get kids running around out there all week, and so, I mean, the revenue's there, it's just on how it's all put together, so. It's prelim, I just thought I'd bring it up since we're starting on budgets,
And do we already have the interface organized so that when they log on, it's all ready to charge them and stuff?
Yeah,
So that's
that's
how the
on the
vendors, so
gateway,
it's not
that's-
something we have to create
No,
in-house?
No, that's in the gateway. It's a simple setup. So, and the gateway is probably about 25% of the cost.
So how would they get their password? Will that be something that they would give and
On the-
they sign up for their
Yeah,
camping
I would
spots, or-
assume the campers in the vendor booth will have either their campsite number, their vendor number incorporated in the password. And then the rest of them will just be random when they sign up, like the day passes and those type of things.
My only
That'd be-
fear
That'd be
is-
a lot to keep track of.
There's
wouldn't
gonna
it?
I
The
know.
gateway takes care of it all,
Okay.
so it's not...
That was the fear, is how much tech
Yeah.
support
No,
is gonna be
The gateway
involved.
will generate the passwords, the gateway will keep track of all that, so.
That's a third party, when you say gateway.
It's just a box that controls everything.
That's
That's where you're gonna go
someplace where they have
through,
to come in to buy their password.
Probably have to.
they can do it right on their phone.
Oh, I see.
They'll hit the wireless and say, well, for this you can have it for the week or for the day, and you can decide or not,
I see.
and go.
And
Then you
how
can
do they
walk
pay?
around. Walk
What's
around.
that?
How do they pay?
Credit, and that would be credit card.
Credit card.
Yeah. Just like you have a credit card on your phone, so you
Yeah.
can
Well, I don't think it's anything we should have done this summer, so maybe we
No.
need to sit down with Kurt.
Yeah, maybe we
And
can
the
sit down with
budget-
Kurt and
the
Derek
budget.
and,
If, where we're gonna,
I just thought we're at the decisions, so.
sounds good.
That's all I had for today.
All right, any questions for Paul? Sounds good, we'll appreciate you coming up. So we'll maybe see you after the meeting here, are you gonna come in and talk about this
Yep.
later?
Yep,
Okay,
I've got
we'll
it.
see you in a bit then.
All right, thanks, Paul.
Let's go to your list, Maxine.
Minutes from June 13, general.
Did everybody get the minutes?
Move.
Moved by Fishback,
second.
seconded by Hanson, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay, motion carries.
Claims, there was, highlighted ones on the US Bank bill. Did everyone look at those?
Yep.
It's that purple sticky note.
McDonald's?
Okay. McDonald's and a reimbursement for a birth
Yeah,
certificate.
I've seen it.
Okay. Any other
It's
questions?
cheaper to go to Kessler's and get some bread and bologna.
But somebody's still gotta prepare it, that's the
Yeah.
problem you have with, if there's no cook, I mean, that was the only reason that was done.
I thought the inmates made breakfast.
I don't know how many meals that was for. Was it just McDonald's,
I think it
or
was
did
just one
they
meal,
do
the way I looked at the
cold
sheet.
cereal for the others, or
Anyway,
Sounds like a new thing.
what's that?
Sounds like it's a new thing. It's been happening forever.
They've been doing that before.
How are they coming on getting cooked? Is,
They've been still looking for
Still
people,
looking?
but
all right, any other questions on the bills? Second from Feldheim, any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Moved
Second.
by Hanson, seconded by Feldheim, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claim assignment.
Move 'em.
Moved from Fishback,
Second.
second from Hanson. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The fireworks permit for Bullet Sports.
Move.
Moved from Feldheim.
Second.
Second from Fishback. Questions on that? All in
You're-
favor, say aye.
they called Friday and were concerned about whether or not you were gonna allow them to do it or not.
Well, they'll have the
Tell
permit.
tell 'em they're calling the wrong place.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lease, there's Watertown Human Service Agency.
Move.
Moved from Feldheim,
Second.
second from Hanson. Any questions on the lease? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Fair contracts.
Any questions on those contracts? I just made a note on one we'll have to fix. They had a Volga, South Dakota, I think it might, it's supposed to be Volga.
Move.
Moved by
Second.
Feldheim, second by Fishback. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The agreement with Aberdeen School District for JDC teacher.
Move it.
Moved by Fishback.
Move. Or second.
Second from Hanson. Any questions on that contract? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Declare the items surplus for the sale this Friday, 2 p.m. at the First Avenue Complex.
Move.
Moved from Hanson.
Second.
Second from Feldheim. Any questions on the surplus sale? Expect to see everybody there and bring your money. Did everybody get a chance to review that? Aaron had it in the packet.
Yeah, I saw it. Move it.
Moved by Fishback,
Second.
second by Hanson. Any questions on that audit?
And I'll just put acknowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't approve it, we acknowledged it.
Right.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
What
Opposed,
time was
nay.
that surplus sale?
Motion carries.
2.
How come I had 10:30? Starts at 2.
That's all I have.
All right, Gary, got anything for us?
I had mentioned the bill from across the street for the Fisher Building last week. One of the things that came up that after was that the reason that they were submitting this was they weren't sure whether it was a county person or a contract person or whoever that did this damage. So he stopped in and was asking if if the commission was even willing to maybe go half and half on it, or if what they were going to do with it. So
He from...
Gary Fisher.
Okay.
Do we even know if it happened at night or day, or?
It was apparently during the day, during snow removal, but we had county vehicles in and contract vehicles in, so they just weren't sure who did it.
I think it's generous of him to go half and half, right?
Well, that wasn't them, right? That was just the guy with the damage that's wondering if
Yeah,
they're not offering to go.
yeah, he's just asking if the county would be willing to pay for half, because he's paid for the repair already, so.
And the bill was how much?
$685.
We can't disprove that it wasn't us or someone we...
Apparently there was county trucks and stuff in there
Yeah.
too, so.
I would think that's
$300, I think. you
That's
just-
reasonable.
I think so too.
I thought we had a contractor to clean these lots. The only thing Highway did was
Well, that's
clean
what
the-
Judy said, is that there's county people in there too hauling snow away and
Oh,
stuff, so.
there's piles over there, okay.
I moved to pay half of it.
Yeah, I'd second that.
Motion from Feldheim, seconded from Hanson. Any other questions?
Also, he asked if, for the commission to think about if we'd be interested in selling the lot to the east of him, on the east side.
Oh, on the east side.
Yeah, that we own. It's just a parking lot also, so something to keep in mind and think about. He said he'd be willing to buy that if the commission was interested.
All in favor of the previous motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That's all I have, except I just need an exec for contract, and I think Chris wanted an exec also for personnel, so.
Okay. And then after that, we will go into the budget workshop portion. Is there any other matters to come before us? Okay, I'd entertain a motion. Motion from Hanson to go into exec for contract and personnel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Feldheim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll be in executive session. Okay, we are back from exec. No action as a result of exec.
Thank you.
And we want to give one great big congratulations to Maxine Fisher, who yesterday celebrated 45 years with Brown County. So thank you so much for the service you've provided. And for the brownies.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
and she's only 50 years old.
I know, amazing, right?
I don't believe her laws really.
Anything else for the regular agenda before we get into the budget stuff?
Can I leave my pen over there?
Anything from the folks in attendance on that? All right, well then let's roll into our budget workshop with the department heads to follow. This is a little bit more informal, so I am gonna, go ahead and turn off the camera. Should I get an adjournment or wait till after the budget?
You're not making any decisions on it?
No,
you're
just
discussing
hearing,
it.
so we don't need an adjournment, or we do.
You should do it, Sharon.
Okay, I did, entertain a
Move to
motion to adjourn. Motion by Feldheim. Second by Hanson, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Enjoy your
We'll be
day.
adjourned and
Contractor
go into the
coming.
budget.
Gotta get him while he's there.